Well, hopefully this is music to drivers' ears. Let's begin. The article says that Jeremy Hunt has vowed to end customer rip-off last night, starting with petrol prices. The Chancellor gave hope to struggling families that a pump watch system would curb fuel bills. The competition watchdog is expected to name and shame petrol retailers over profit margins in a review on Monday, and the drive is part of an action plan agreed by Mr Hunt, and regulators to ease the public's pain over high inflation. Supermarkets, bank, broadband providers and mobile phone networks will also come under pressure to help. The Bank of England, though, showed companies were paying less for goods, but prices paid by shoppers were up. Well, it's about time they realised, isn't it? But anyway, regulators from energy, water, financial services, telecoms attended crisis talks in Downing Street, and a financial regulator will report back by the end of next month. But that's not it, because banks and building societies will also have to explain why they are not passing on rate rises. Broadband and mobile phone suppliers will have to bring in discount deals, and Mr Hunt said, "We secured an agreement with regulators to act where customers need most support." Fairfield UK's Howard Cox said drivers have no idea what they'll pay. Pump watch will make a great difference. Well, hopefully he's right, and it will make a big difference, especially if fuel prices start to fall faster than someone like Katie Price's knickers. But at the end of the day, it's another waiting game, isn't it? And let's just face it, after all the government announcements that seem to be overturned every so often, I'll just kind of believe it when I see it. But what is quite interesting as well is it's not just fuel, and they're actually trying to press regulators for other things as well, which after the taken price rises since last year, it's finally about time. I mean, they should have done this ages ago, shouldn't they? Especially going back to fuel again, with the billions of pounds profit these companies surely must have made. And whilst of course we've heard, "Oh, but we can't afford it, our prices have gone up too, you know," how can they still rake in billions of pounds? It just doesn't quite add up, does it? Especially of course with supermarkets, because let's face it, it seems like their prices go up every time you walk through the door. I mean, they've always got a smile on their face, haven't they? Probably because they know that we'll more than likely be forking out about 1.5 times as much as we were the week before, which admittedly, okay, is an exaggeration, but you get my point, don't you? It does make me wonder though how this pump watch will be implemented, especially with how quickly fuel prices can change. I mean, is it going to sort of be like an off-gem situation where energy prices change every 3 months, but instead weekly for petrol or diesel? And then again, would that also start to apply to EVs with the vastly different prices that are offered by public chargers out there? I mean, you could be apparently paying something like 30p per kilowatt hour at one charger, or about 79-89p at another one. It's just absolutely bonkers. Admittedly, they go by different speeds apparently, but it's a principle that matters in my opinion. I mean, let's face it, I don't really get charged a different rate of fuel price when I fill up my petrol car with how quickly I pull the trigger, do I? So at the end of the day, I don't really think that should be the case for EVs either. I personally think this would not have happened at all if it wasn't A, for how quickly the prices went up last year, or earlier on this year as well, and B, if it wasn't for the campaigning of loads of people and companies against rising fuel prices. So hopefully this will be a good thing. It just makes me wonder if there'll be some sort of sting in the tail somewhere down the line. Especially, of course, if they're trying to make people switch over to EVs and do away with petrol and diesel engines altogether. Of course, in the not so distant future. Anyway, hopefully I should be back soon, so make sure you click that subscribe button down there so you don't miss my next video. I'll see you in the next one.